Hey, what's going on everybody? Today I got another video. I'm going to talk about a game that's been getting a lot of attention lately, Scape. This is the next big Battle Royale. Ubisoft is putting their hat in the ring and they're going to try to come to market with something different and unique among all the other last man standing shooters that are out there. We're talking Call of Duty Warzone, Fortnite, freaking Apex Legends. There's just a ton of battle royales out there right now, but Ubisoft wanted to put their hat in the ring and get Scape out there and in front of gamers, and this week they did a Ubisoft Forward where Scape was a big part of their presentation. Now, I have a lot of opinions about this game, and I'm going to start off by saying I'm not really feeling it. I don't like this game. There's a number of reasons why. I'm going to go over them here, but I do appreciate that there are people that are loving this game, having a blast with it. I'm going to go over the criticisms I have. First and foremost, I know this is a beta. It does have a ton of technical issues. I had frame rate drops. I had game crashes on multiple occasions. I had situations where I fell through the world, etc. I'm not really going to knock it for that because it just went into open beta this week. So it's really just now getting going and getting in front of a large group of players, and so technical issues are to be expected, 100%. The things I am going to knock it for are overall design and also aesthetic, and I'm going to get into that a little bit. I think the design of the map itself is a little plain. I don't think there's a wide variety in environments, and I feel like running through the map or landing in different zones results in a very, very similar look and feel to the map. I don't feel like, you know, when you play Fortnite or you play Apex, depending on where you land on the map, you could be looking at a very, very different environment, and that changes how you play, how traversal works, just how everything goes from moment to moment in that match depends heavily on the area of that map that you land in. That doesn't seem to be the case in Scape. I feel like the only difference in certain areas are that you will find yourself in an area that's just littered with weapons. Everyone lands in there. Whoever picks up the weapon first just slaughters everyone else. But I'm also going to get into, and that's not really an issue per se, but just don't land in that area if you don't want to be in a ridiculously large skirmish right off the bat. Another issue I have with it is the time to kill. So this has come up in a lot of forums and a lot of threads. A lot of people are complaining about the time to kill, and it's justified. I think that the time to kill for Scape is far too high. I think that there's situations where I myself have dived into an area and just been slaughtered from 5 different directions lit up with bullets, and somehow managed to escape out a window and then have all my health refresh. Didn't have to heal or anything. That, I feel like that's an issue, and that kind of takes away from the fun and also could take away from kind of the skill, and that also results in only a few weapons actually being relevant. Now there's a ton of weapons in this game, but there's only a few weapons that'll actually get you good damage and actually net you some kills, okay? And from what I've seen, it's basically the sniper rifle and the shotgun. Sniper rifle from a distance, shotgun up close, and maybe that small little Uzi that you pick up just because its rate of fire is so high. One of the bigger problems I have with the map design and the overall traversal of this game in general is that the sniper rifle seems to be the main focus of a lot of players that will use the launch pads that are, I don't know, placed way too often, maybe every block or two throughout the, you know, ground level of the map, to just get up high, run across the roofs and the rail lines, stand up in windows, and just snipe people from above. I mean, if the motivation to keep people from staying on the ground in this game is just astronomical. They try so hard. I don't even know why the ground exists, to be completely honest. If you run on the ground for really any time at all, 1, you won't see any other players, and 2, you will likely get sniped from somebody that you can't even see, because a lot of the map is actually quite open. There's a lot of twists and turns, but basically it's just streets and alleyways and maybe some hidden corridors like here where you'll find some weapons and things like that. But you want to be indoors and you want to be up high, and if you don't have a sniper rifle, then you really need to run around and try to get up high and try to find, I don't know, one of the snipers or something like that. But it's a big issue in that I think they try to force players into using the traversal a little bit too much, and in result it makes for a more daunting experience if you're a player that has a different play style from any of the ones that I listed here above, and you kind of need to adapt to the way, I don't know, Ubisoft and the developers have designed this game to be played. And I think that the advantage that a lot of the other battle royales has is that players of all different play styles and all different types are able to use different character classes to kind of cater to their play style, and the balancing is done so well that anybody with any different kind of play style can win any match. And that's what I feel like Hyperscape is lacking. They have you pick a character at the beginning, and I have no idea why, because I'm not sure that any character varies in playstyle in any way, shape, or form, and that's a bit disappointing in my opinion. But I don't want this to be a purely negative video, and I do want to touch on a couple of the things that I did like and have fun with while I was playing the game. I do think that when you get in those really close combat little skirmishes where each player kind of has just maybe one or two basic weapons at their disposal, the back and forth and kind of like the head-to-head match can be pretty fun if another player or two doesn't come up and intervene and kill you while you're trying to get through the back and forth there. But I think the skirmishes are pretty fun. I will say that I also appreciate that right off the bat in open beta there was controller support, so if you're into that and you prefer controller over mouse and keyboard, that is available. I tried it out. It works pretty well, pretty standard button layout, so this game would work perfectly fine on console, so I would 100% expect this to come to consoles as well. So if you're looking to be playing this on console at some point, I'm pretty confident that you'll be able to. I also want to say that some of the abilities they've added in are pretty fun to use. I like kind of the health and the shields, and there's like a wall ability that you can use where if you're trying to get away you can put up a wall and it helps you get away pretty easily. I will say, like, actually getting away from combat in this game is quite a bit easier than some of the others, so maybe that's an advantage, maybe it's a disadvantage, kind of depending on who you are, how you play, but that's pretty nice too, I guess. I also like that they have like these little events throughout each match where, for example, it would be, okay, a low gravity event is starting, and then all of a sudden your jumps send you clear into the air and you can like jump halfway across the map, which is pretty cool. And they'll have a variety of those where they'll have like a health pack event, which I actually don't really care for, because then there's just health packs littered everywhere, and if you're trying to kill someone, they just have to run 2 seconds to get to a health pack and have their health regenerated when the time to kill is already so high. I just find those events to be completely unnecessary and kind of just extend the duration of the match more than anything. But either way, those are the things that I liked and didn't like about the game. Overall, I think Hyperscape needs a ton of work. It has a lot of potential, I guess. It's still in beta, and I'm hoping that it takes the player feedback, really takes it to heart, goes back to the drawing board, and fixes a lot of the issues that I personally have with the game. I know that a lot of people are having fun and really enjoying this game, but I know that a lot of people aren't, and I think that if they really want to get this out there and in front of a lot of people and have a solid player base, that they really need to fix quite a few things with how this game plays. So hopefully that happens, but that's all I have for this video. Until next time, I'm out.